Streaming cyberspace into your place. Sanctioned by, well, you see it on your screen right there, Red Light Racing League from Langley Speedway. It's the Virtual Grip Network's live as it happens. Round 16 coverage of the Skitter Creek SK Modified Series. It's season 14. Well, like the eventual death of the sun, Eric Stout's third championship seems to be inevitable. Is it too late to stop the melting of the ice caps? Is it too late to stop the crowning of Stout? It's not a matter of if, but when will Quake put California under the ocean. For Stout's third title, there is no if, and the when is 4 races from now. But like the force that spared Jules and Vincent, it seems only divine intervention will keep Stout from finding his championship. So armed with the knowledge that miracles do happen, pull the lever on the lazy boy. Get ready for the excitement of the simulated short track racing action that's about to stream your way. Let's offer up a warm Old Dominion hello and welcome on this Thursday night. It is, what is it today? It's September 11th, 2025. The institution, J.R. Shepard, joins yours truly, Bill Soupson, high up in the VGN broadcast booth, to bring you our words, eye view, replay, Ryan Center, the turn of the knobs, and pushing the sliders. All right, JR, what do you know about this place?
Well, Soup, Langley Speedway is a difficult short track, and I think a lot of these drivers are going to leave here tonight frustrated, but this place, ultimately, it's a little less than 4/10 of a mile in length, and the turns are banked at only 6 degrees, creating a tough surface to get around. The banking is so little that when you drive around here at speed, it feels like the track is actually banked in the opposite direction. And I'm afraid for those drivers who do not get a good qualifying lap in here, it is going to be a very long race. This place is tough to drive in general, but it's going to be even tougher to make passes here tonight without making some contact. This is a short track, and there will be tight-knit racing, so track position will be a premium tonight, and strategy could come into play if we get a timely caution at just the right time late in this race.
You know, my partner said the drivers may leave frustrated, but you're watching the Virtual Grip Network, so unlike Mick Jagger, you're going to leave here with nothing but satisfaction. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the points. Eric Stout's coming off his 5th win of the season. The next 5 drivers all have wins. Jeff Aho and Chad Akaris each have 2. Everyone else has 1. How about Rob Higgins? His best results this season has been 3rd. He's done that twice. Kevin Visna was 3rd, and he did that on our schedule's only road course. Nobody has raced here in a modified more than Joshua Buckley. This will be his 7th race. And then thanks to, you see the rest down there, and you see that Bradley Steffen, who's notorious for finishing 2nd, hopes to see if he can maybe get his first win of the season. There you have it. Glad you are with us. We are going the usual distance here of 100 laps tonight. Rule package allows for the drivers to make a pit stop and change tires if they think they might want to do that. Let me turn to my partner. If the caution were to fly right, if the situation was right, is a pit stop something you might want to consider?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to depend on where you're running. If you're in the second half of this field and you get a caution past halfway, I think ducking down and getting at least the right side tires replaced is going to give you the advantage of being able to maneuver around, have a little bit of extra grip, and be able to stay right next to that white and yellow line on the inside. That's going to be where you're going to be able to make your passes up off the corner. So if we get a caution at the right time, definitely duck in. Otherwise, if you're anywhere near the front, I think you got to stay out the whole race.
A relatively small field by red light racing standards, although it is like the end of the season and it's back to school time, so maybe some people are busy. We only have a sweet 16 worth of drivers today. I guess that could be good for the racing. A smaller pack probably means more chances of a green flag run. Everyone was able to put in a qualifying time with the exception of Bob Higgins. Beautiful night to go racing. This one and 3 more before we crown our season 14 champion. Our introduction was a little pessimistic about anybody getting it other than Eric Stout, but there's still time. You never know what's going to happen as they begin to grid up. Let's go ahead and give you that starting grid right now. Well, Stout is leading in the points. He has 5 wins, but he didn't get the pole tonight. That's going to belong to Chad Alcaraz. The teapot, Eric Stout, will start outside of him.
Yeah, inside of row number 2, rolling off third is Jeff Aho. Rolling off in 4th place, Fred Leclerc.
Papa Kenny Allen will be starting in 5th position, and the man with 2 third-place finishes, hoping maybe to do a little bit better than that tonight, is Rob Higgins.
Rolling off in 7th, we got Bill Benedict, and on the outside in 8th place, Ethan Troutman.
In the familiar Winn-Dixie 60, it is Brian Neff with the man with so much experience here at Langley. This will be his 8th race in a modified at this place in the Red Light Racing League Series. It's Joshua Buckley.
Rolling off inside of row 6, we got Luke Logan Allen in that 6 car. On the outside in that 93 car, Chris Hazlett.
In the Baker's Douglas spot, it's Chris. May I have some more, sir? Oliver. With Mike Trasher outside of him.
Rolling off 15th, we got Devin Visnaw, and on the outside in 16th, Kevin Alicia.
Interesting to see those guys so far down there. And there is one more driver. We have 17 drivers here tonight. I missed one. That'll be Rob Higgins starting at the back. Always better to go racing with an odd number of drivers than an even number. That's just my rule of thumb. This one and 3 more. 2 champions in the field. Season 12 champ Jeff Aho. Season 10 and Season 13 champ Eric Stout. They'll be starting 2nd for Stout and 3rd for Aho. All right. They go on the flag. The perfectly mesmerizing Josie Kirkland pulls the pace car in. We're ready to go. Gather up the chicken steak, cover around the cows because the horses are out of the barn. Now let's see what Alcaraz can do on the inside. Boy, that seems like he gets a good run. Stout with trying some momentum on the outside. This might be the only opportunity for Aho to get inside of Stout. He cannot do it. Tight racing back behind. Laurel in the top side. That's Brad Leclerc.
Yeah, up front, Chad Alcaraz just lost the lead to Eric Stout. He got into turn 3 and went way wide. I don't know what the issue was, but definitely did not have the grip when he got to turn 3, so Stout is by in first.
All right. Stout, and we got ourselves a caution. Stout credited with leading every lap. I believe this one starts with the number 90. Bill Benedict gets a little loose.
We'll get a replay here. We see him in the pack there running behind Ken Allen. And yeah, I believe what started that or initiated that is he actually touched the apron a little bit on corner entry. That kind of bobbled his car, moved him up a little bit in the center of the corner. And in return, you see Brian Neff getting into the back of it. And it's just because there was that loose feeling he had going into the corner and then a checkup that resulted in some contact. So that's pretty common at a place like this.
That pushed Neff up the road, and he also then got into it with Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen. He tried to go by on the outside. Nevertheless, Allen's going to stay out there racing in 8th position, up 3 from where he started. He is our big mover so far. Also up 3 spots is the rookie, Devin Visna, trying to show what he can do on an oval. We know he's good on a road course.
Yeah, and Soup, this running order actually got shook up a little bit because I believe we had some side-by-side action when that caution came out. So some drivers actually swapping some positions here just because one was slightly ahead when that caution came out through the corner. So one of those drivers, Jeff Aho, he's actually fallen down to 4th. He was the driver that was running in 3rd right after we went green.
No such luck for Chad Alcaraz, though, as he started on the pole and then Stout got underneath him. And then the caution came out and Alcaraz was back in 2nd. That's where he'll stay. Stout is credited with leading every one of the 5 laps we've turned so far. All the drivers still on the lead lap, including Benedict, who had that spin. He's back out there at the tail of the field. Well, we got that first caution out of the way, and now we're ready as they're going to be going green. We'll be able to get in all of the remaining 93 laps under green. They'll be working lap number 8. Let's call it a 92 lap run. Aho started in third position when the race started. He's going to have to be forced, like my partner said, to the outside of row 2. It may not be too bad if Alcaraz can get a good jump. They wait. Let's see who gets it. It's a pretty good start from both the inside and the outside. Stout with a little bit of an advantage. Now watch the 71. He was really working great on the top side to pick up some spots. He's now on the inside. That's Fred, always there, Leclerc. And he is inside of the 17. Alcaraz is going to lose that spot.
Yeah, and you know, talking about Fred Leclerc, this is one of those tracks that this series doesn't go to a whole lot in rotation, but Fred always seems to rise to the occasion when we go to those oddball tracks. That's not a regular thing, so I'm not surprised at all. This could be a very good night for him.
The front.
Oh, and there's a wreck. Yep, there's a wreck. We had Neff.
Oh.
I did not see the whole action there, but I believe it started with Chad Alcaraz getting loose coming out of turn 2. And I think Neff was just kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. We'll get a replay here.
I think you've called it right. Here it is. Watch the 17 of Alcaraz.
Yep, just coming off of turn 2, got loose. He did a nice job catching it, but Neff's already there. He was committed to the exit of that corner. He tried to stay down. Contact was ultimately made, and that sent both of them into the outside wall. The good news is I don't think any of them are going to have major damage. I'm sure Chad's probably going to have the wheel slightly off a couple of degrees, but I don't think that's going to affect how his car handles the rest of the night.
Ken Allen had to take evasive action in the 49 to go to the inside. I think the big loser was Rob Higgins, who also went to the inside, and he lost momentum. A lot of cars passed him, so he falls down a few spots. We got away lucky on that one whenever we have an incident so quickly after a restart and so far at the front of the field. It's always a recipe for a big pile up. I think we got away about as lucky as we could be. Fred Leclerc is going to be on the outside of Stout. Aho has that third spot back now. Papa Kenny Allen gets to start in the second row this time.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Langley, for whatever reason, it seems like the cautions last longer here, the number of laps that you turn, and it gives the drivers a lot of time to think about what they want to do on this next run. And what I'm talking about is that inside line is predominantly the line that you want to be in. If you're one of those inside cars on this restart, you're not necessarily thinking about passing somebody because you're afraid that another caution is going to come out and you're going to in return be in an even spot and be in that outside line. So a lot going on in your mind. I know I've been frustrated racing here in the past. At some point you have to make the move because you never know when that last caution is going to come out.
Give a little love to Joshua Buckley, racing in fifth spot right now. He is up 5 positions. Another big mover a little farther back is Bill Benedict. Kevin Alicia up 5 spots as well. Okay, well, now we have both of our cautions out of the way. Now we're going to go green for the remaining 85 laps. Look at the outside. He's very good. The 71 of Fred, always there, Leclerc. Right now, he is out in front. And he's going to get credited with leading the lap.
That was a huge power move. I expected him to have a good run through 1 and 2, but usually when you get down to turn 3, that car gets tight if you're not back down the bottom. But Fred made that work. This could be a big night like I spoke about earlier for him.
Oh, my goodness. Looks like good night nurse for the 71. He's starting to pick him up, put him down, trying to give himself a little distance away from the 5-time and 5-time winner, 2-time champion, Eric Stout. Stout now under attack from the only other champion in the field. That is Jeff Aho, trying to see if he can get underneath Teapot there. Rounding out your top 5. It's the man with all the experience at this place, Joshua Buckley, and then Papa Kenny Allen.
Yeah, Josh is already up 6 positions in this race, so he's going to continue to want to move forward, and that usually spells bad news for the rest of the competition because he's not one of the drivers that gets up front early, but he is somebody that can make his way up toward the end of the race. Well, he's already there early in this one.
Okay, Fred Leclerc racing out in front. He qualified 4th, so he has good pace. Stout qualified 2nd. Their qualifying times off by just a tick, about 1/10 of a second there. Stout looking to the top side, trying to find some way around. Teapot got two things to worry about. The man in front, Leclerc, and the man behind him, former champ, Jeff Aho. Aho seems to be very good in the 21.
Yeah, definitely. This top group, they're all running nose to tail. I've seen Stout make a couple of small bumps into Fred there, just letting him know that he's there, but you can see the differing lines. Eric's trying to do an over-under type move, go in and turn slightly later in the corner to try to get a run off. But in these SK modifieds, they're momentum style race cars. It's so hard to get a run. You can see he can get a run there to the outside because he's able to carry that momentum, but then he loses it once you get down to turn 3 and Fred's back down there on the inside. So this is a very, very challenging track, and the drivers that can make passes on places like this, they know how to get it done.
Stout had about a half a car length on Aho, so he could afford to take a little bit of a gamble there. It didn't work as he went to the outside, but then he was able to duck back in there. I think Aho may have learned a lesson. Not going to let Stout try that again without there being a penalty if it does not work. We are single all the way file through. You know what that means? We're going to go to our stationary look and watch the cars as they go by. I love this when they're stationary and they go by single file. Here they come. I'll do the sound effects for you. Boom. Oh, love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers. I'm starting to see it, Soup. Drivers moving around on this racetrack. They're searching, trying to find a little bit of grip, and it's not because the grip's necessarily going away. They're trying to find something that's just a tad bit grippier so they can make a pass. See Kevin Alicia here getting on the outside. I think that's Devin Visnall that is going by on the inside there. Oh, and we got a spin up in turn 4. That's going to be Chris Hazlip that is going around.
Oh, I got a little bit of the Neff bar. Now, a lot of times that happens because the guy in front got loose. He was working on the outside.
Yeah, this is kind of a combination of things here. So we saw Hazlip go to the outside trying to get that pass done. In return, I think he got a little too high, which slowed him down. And you're going to see Neff turn down to the bottom, and then his car is going to wiggle because he's going to get a little loose. Right there, it wiggled. Now he's sliding up the track because he's essentially getting a loose push type condition right there. And ultimately the inside and the outside car come together on corner exit. And I believe you see Chad Alcaraz getting involved a little bit there, but I don't think he's going to have any more damage than what he already has.
Okay, because the cautions are so long here, can't guarantee that we can get to our leader. Let me send the director, Ryan Seneker, down for a hunt and see if he can dial up Fred Leclerc. Fred, is Soup up in the booth? You have time to talk to me?
Oh, yeah, I got all the time in the world.
All right, they are long yellow flags here at Langley. All right, I'm going to give you some suggestions. Keep the car down low. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, you need to, but just trying not to burn the tires off yet because I'm not pitting tonight.
You're not pitting. Great run on the outside to get you to the front.
Yeah, no, I knew I could hold it there to get by Eric. I didn't know if it would work, but I knew it would hook up and hold.
All right, no pit stop. We know the strategy. Good luck. We'll keep it to ourselves. We won't let anybody know. Go get him.
Nah, that don't bother me.
Such confidence from the 71 out in front. He's staying out. JR, he talked about he'd like to keep it low, but he doesn't want to do it at the expense of burning up his stuff.
Yeah, absolutely right. And the thing he's got to focus on, so these SKs, they tend to be a little bit free in the early running. As you get laps on them, they start to get a little bit tight and want to push through the center of the corner. So he's got to, keep himself reminded of how to save those rear tires. And what he's going to have to focus on is corner exit. He's not going to want to get into that throttle too early in the center of the corner and push up and ultimately get into a push type loose condition. He's going to want to exit these corners low and straight, and that's what he was doing right before that caution came out.
Well, last time Leclerc and Stout did a restart, Stout was on the inside. The outside of Leclerc got the best of it. Let's see if the outside line prevails again. They got a good start. I think Stout might have tried to get it so far to the outside, he might have hit the wall. Oh, no! Getting there with a little bit of bump. That's going to slow it down considerably. Oh, my goodness. I had me worried there. That was Joshua Buckley who got into Stout. Stout now losing momentum on the top side because he's been pestered by granny hips. That's going to allow Jeff Aho to get down into second spot. And taking him with him, there's Ken Allen now. Papa Kenny up into fourth. Oh, my goodness. Buckley is on the hunt. Joshua gets it down low. I thought he was going to wiggle right up into Stout. Stout's got to be sweating a little bit because Granny Hips is, whoa, man, he's racing like a drunk, chasing a balloon at the edge of the cliff. It's fun to watch, but it doesn't always end well. But right now, Buckley with a good run, and he's going to get the spot.
I like the aggression level being amped up right now. These drivers, they had time to think about what to do, and all these drivers are thinking, I need to go before another caution comes out, so they are racing hard. And this is great because we're only a third of the way through this race.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I'm singing songs from the south. And that's because going south is Eric Stout. He is stuck on the outside. He loses another spot to Rob Higgins, and now he's under attack from the 52 of Chris. May I have some more, Sir Oliver? The more that he would like is that one position again, which would put him up into sixth. See you later, Teapot.
Yeah, and that was a huge, like we stayed on him the whole time that he was backing up through the field, and this is a huge example of just how little grip there is in that outside line. You can make it work while you're still getting these cars up to speed for about a lap, maybe a lap and a half, and then you have to get down or there is no grip. You're going to continue to fall. And I can tell you, Soup, you're starting to see little marbles and stuff on that higher side of the track. If that gets up into that second groove, if it works itself down to that level, then these drivers are not going to be turning at all when they get into turns 3 and 4.
Let's go up front, JR. Now let's see if he doesn't disappoint me. Look at how low the 71 is getting. Not so much through 3 and 4. Let's see, last time around, the last couple times, he got both his right sides down underneath that yellow line. There he goes again, just nips it a little bit lower than anybody else.
I like that through turns 1 and 2 because 1 and 2 is where you tend to get tighter, in my opinion, especially in these SKs. So using that apron to help that car rotate naturally is great, and you don't have to do anything crazy. Oh, and I think there's some contact there from behind. Fred getting up, and the caution's out.
Teshro in trouble.
Yeah, we'll see what the ultimate issue was with this one. I don't know where he was running on the speedway in relation. Okay, so he was hung on the outside there of Bill Benedict. And yeah, this is another common problem, and it's not necessarily a problem of Langley. It's a problem of being in this SK. Your visibility, it's hard to judge where the right side tires are in this car because of how low you set where that air cleaner is. So when he comes off the corner here, he misjudges where that turn 4 exit wall and straightaway wall is, and he nicks it. And in return, it kind of shoots him downward, and he gets a bad angle going into turn 1. Now, inside the car, he thinks he's okay. But from Bill Benedict's car, he sees Tasharu coming down the track on entry into turn 1, and that's why that contact was made. It's one of those things that's hard to judge when you're that car that's on the outside and you bounce off the wall like that.
That is a great take. I love working with the institution, J.R. Shepard. All right. Ryan Senator, can you see if you can find Jeff Aho? Can we talk to him? He's racing in second right now in car number 21. Jeff, it's Soup up in the booth. You have a minute to talk to me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I thought Leclerc was taking a low line until I saw you. You actually got the left sides down on the grass through 1 and 2.
You can put this thing anywhere if you try hard enough, but I have to get by Fred. I'm trying, but I'm not sure if I'm going to goof up like I did last week on the outside. Hopefully it sticks this time and I can make a run coming out of 2, but like I said last week, you only get one shot and that's that.
Do you think it's gotten a little dirty up there, or do you think it's clean enough to give a legitimate effort?
I haven't been up there all race, and last week I was in the marbles, so I don't know, we'll find out. I'm just going to play it safe, really.
All right, go get him.
I'm going to try.
All right, he moves to the outside. That is season 12 champion Jeff Aho. Eric Stout, after his trip to the outside, fell all the way down to 7th. You know, my partner was talking about the marbles that were up there. The way that Stout was struggling, I mean, I've seen Stout be more competitive than that on the outside. I got to think the outside is not in good shape. We'll see how it plays out. Here we go. Not a great jump from Aho. Buckley would really like him to go. Look how low that Leclerc puts the car. Aho now trying to do a little up and under. He dives down there deep. He loses momentum thanks to a little bump there from Allen, and that's going to let Buckley on the top side. Let's see what Granny Hips can do. Gets a good run off of 2 side by side. Man, there is nowhere for him to put the car, though, because Allen says, you're not coming down between me and Aho right now. Now there's about 1 car length. He can parallel park it in there, but that's the only way he's going to fit between the 2 of them. Look what Allen does as he races real hard. Buckley now has to settle for 4th. Allen moves up into 3rd. Aho will take 2nd. All the while driving away from it, Fred Leclerc.
Yeah, and Buckley knew how important it was to get down there. You can see he had grip for about 2 laps, and then it just went away, and he knew he had to go for that opening. There was no sense in trying to race on that outside.
They are lined up 1, 2, 3, 4. Back in 5th is Rob Higgins. Now let's look at Stout. Teapot looking underneath the 40. He's got some work to do. He's still got plenty of time to get it done, because we're only on lap 52. Still just a nick over halfway. Looks like he's going to pick up this position. Hoping to follow him through then is the 26 of Ethan. The Mountain Troutman. Have not heard much from the rookie who sits 2nd in the points. He's working his way up. Started in 8th, racing right now in 7th. Would like to get 1 more spot up if he can get underneath him. Meanwhile, a battle for 2nd up front. No, it's for 3rd. On the outside, that is Aho. He's being passed. And look at that. Buckley, I'm telling you, he is very aggressive. You heard my partner talk about it. He gets another spot.
Yeah, Josh is having a fantastic night, and he has speed. Like this is realistic. He has got speed early in this race. I know we're just past halfway, but he continues to make his way forward. And I got to be honest, I think the cautions are probably helping him out more than they're helping the other drivers.
Oh, some tight fighting a little farther back. They get that sorted out. The 33 of Tasharu going to get that best. Then the 17 of Alcaraz trying to make up some issues that he had. That's your pole sitter working his way back. Stuck on the outside. That is Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen. He's having a hard day, but his papa's having a great day. Let's go look in on Ken Allen right now. Ken looking at the lead, and there's a battle for 3rd back there. I think let's go up front. Allen peeking underneath. He gets those left sides down. Now he gets a good run off of 2. Down through 3 and 4. Pinning him down is the 71 of Leclerc, but they get it worked out. Leclerc still leading, but now Allen in the preferred position. Your son may be having some trouble. Kid Lemon Lime, your dad's in the lead, but not for long. A little bit of the hokey doke, a little bit of the hucklebuck, a little bit of the dipsy-doo, the over and under, and it works. Fred Leclerc gets credit with leading the lap, and, well, Allen led for a breath.
That was awesome racing from those 2 up front. Ken Allen made a super aggressive move in the turn 1, and I liked it. I mean, and he was able to hold it, so he wasn't doing anything over his head. He was able to keep that car down, just like you're seeing on your screen now, right against the grass. And that's how he ultimately made that pass, but it gave him such a bad angle on exit that Leclerc was able to cross him over and capitalize on it. So these 2 drivers, they're going to continue to go at it, but they got to be careful. Jeff Aho's catching up to them.
There's been a lot of turmoil in the Allen household. Apparently, Papa Kenny getting a little upset with Mama Allen because the slices of pie seem to be a little bigger for the son than the husband. And I guess the answer was, well, honey, you start winning races and maybe your slice will be a little bit bigger. Luke Logan Allen with some wins already this season. Not any yet from Papa, but he's in 2nd place. This is probably his best position to win one.
We see on our screen here right now, you got you got Alicia that was stuck on the outside. Brian Neff made his way through. Tashrew's now on the bottom, and I've seen Tashrew get loose a few times, so this could be a little exciting for a lap or 2 here. And you see back there our pole sitter, Chad Alcaraz. He's trying to make his way back through.
He is doing a great job. I'm the pole sitter. Gosh darn it, let me through. He gets his right sides all the way under the yellow line through 4, which is lower than most people go through 4. Then he goes through 1 and 2 and gets them down there again. Oh no, Mama Allen. Papa's had some problems.
Get a replay here. You see the top 3 all running nose to tail. Ken's going to have to check up a little bit through the center there. But, oh, yeah, he just hit that apron at the wrong angle to where he kind of de-wedged the car because he had his right front, I believe, up on the normal racing surface. The rest of the car was down below it, and the car just snapped around on him. It's right about the same time where he's starting to get on the throttle. And yeah, that probably caught him off guard, but ultimately he kept the car from spinning all the way around, and he's going to lose positions. It's going to hurt, but he's not out of this race.
Bad news is he fell from 2nd to 11th. If there is any silver lining around the dark cloud that just happened to Ken Allen, it is he's still 5 positions ahead of his son. Luke Logan Allen in pit lane. Kid Lemon Lime might be coming in for fresh tires.
Yeah, and this is the moment I talked about. If you're one of those drivers that's been kind of struggling, or you're in the second half of the field when this happens, now's the time to come get those tires. You're going to have around 30 laps, maybe 28, 29 when we go green here, but somewhere around 30 laps, and those fresh right side tires, they can make a huge difference. They're going to make this car rotate, and if it makes it rotate, you don't have to use that apron to get the car to turn, so you're going to have more options to maneuver and try to make passes up off the corner.
The front 7 drivers are all on the same tires they started with. Brian Neff has been out there now for 38 laps. He races in 8th. 9th position, that is Mike Tejeru, and he is in 9th. Now, we're thinking that Neff did not get tires when he came in last time. Yeah. Oh, he only had a 6-second stop, so clearly no tires there. So then you look down to the guys maybe that just made stops. They are so far back. Chris Hayslip, Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen, and Bob Higgins. It's been a good one. Well, Fred Leclerc's had a few different challengers on the outside. Not sure if he ever had to start one with Jeff Aho out there. Here we go. It's Aho and Leclerc. And maybe the guy to watch is back in 3rd. He's racing with the most confidence. That is Josh Buckley. Buckley with another shove, giving Leclerc a little bit of let's go inside line. Leclerc gets the car really down low, trying to roll the top as Aho's not going to work. I think it might be a little dirty up there now with only 30 laps to go. Aho begins to fade. And look at this, Granny Hips and his number 13, the man who has the most experience of any driver in a modified here at Langley for the Red Light Racing League. Now, moving up into 2nd, he's come from 10th.
Yeah, definitely. He is a big mover in this race. There's a couple of them, but up 8 spots, and we can see we got a caution that's already out on the speedway. A couple of laps into this run, it looks like it is Tasharu once again that's going to be involved.
Yeah, I think he was almost got into Visna, then kind of backed up and kind of turned it around.
Yeah, it's tricky on cold tires, for sure in these cars. That's when they're most vulnerable. They move around more often, and you do tend to get that weird loose condition when the tires are cold. And yeah, exactly right. Looks like he throttled up, had to get on the brakes. And, sometimes in these cars, having to stab that brake real quick is enough to upset that rear end and have it just slide around on you like that. And when it does, it's pretty helpless because you're just not able to stop it, and it's just a very slow turn.
Well, I was hoping we'd get a nice green flag run, but we didn't. We got ourselves just about a quarter of the race left. Fred Leclerc has been out in front for 60 laps. Now, you can never give up on Teapot. Eric Stout, who had his problems, is now racing in 3rd, very much in striking positions. He's got himself around the other champion in the field, Jeff Aho. I don't know if Buckley is going to be happy. We'll look at the lights on the pace car. They're still on. Can we dial up Granny Hips and talk to him real quick? Josh, it's Soup up in the booth. You have a minute to talk to me? He might be busy, as he is one of the race organizers. Might be sending some people back. He might be trying to send Eric Stout back to the back of the pack. Cannot get it done. You got a copy, Josh?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, we'll do it real quick. You're doubling up. You got anything for the guy next to you?
We're going to find out. I was just talking strategy with my teammate on what to do here on the restart, so we'll see.
All right, go get him.
Thank you.
Talking strategy with his teammate. Start to research who that teammate might be. All right, Aho in 4th, Stout in third, the second row. 3 champions among them. 3 championships among them. Leclerc has wins already this season. Josh Buckley does not. He'd certainly like to get one. All right, there's the jump. Buckley with a pretty good start, the 13. I think he had to lift a little bit. I think he got a little bit intimidated there as he was coming to the line. Now he's trying to make the outside line work. Not going to work. Oh, he tries to get underneath, a little bit of a nub, but they get it sorted out. Leclerc and Buckley get together. No harm, no foul. They keep racing. Stout in third. Aho now under attack from the 26 of Ethan, the Mountain Troutman. Had not heard much from the Mountain so far. He's having a good run, sitting second in the points, working on that former champ.
Yeah, oh, and we've got another caution out on the Speedway. There is a big accident we're hearing. We see Neff, Tasharu, Hazlip going around getting smacked again during the turnaround. But, yeah, multiple drivers involved in this accident, and that is over in turns 3 and 4. We get a replay here.
Rob Higgins, Hazlip involved in it.
Oh, yep. So it's an odd condition. I know it looks like Neff just turned into Hazlip there, and ultimately he did, but there was almost a 3 wide situation when you look at that. So Neff was trying to go back up to give room. He thought Benedict was on his outside, so that immediately caused a reaction to want to turn left, and Hazlip was already there. So yeah, that's one of those unexpected accidents, and if you're in the modifieds behind something when that happens, you're not going to be able to avoid it. These cars were too stacked up right after that restart to be able to get on the binders and miss that one.
Oliver, literally the 5th car on the scene, and he got to collect in it as well. Okay, well, maybe a little bit of reconnaissance racing there for Josh Buckley. He tried something, it kind of worked. He had a little bit of success in it. It almost turned ugly when him and Leclerc got together. Stout was watching back there. The reputation in the Red Light Racing League, they race clean, but just because you're racing up front doesn't mean you're safe. They have a reputation of the leaders getting into trouble. That is a reputation Fred Leclerc is not happy about. He'd like to prove that wrong if he could.
Yeah, definitely. If Fred, we spoke to him early in the race. If he saved any kind of tire life, he needs to be using it right now on these restarts. His job is to try to get as far away from everybody else around him as quickly as possible, because like you spoke about, we tend to see a lot of contact late in the race on these late race restarts in this series that lead to some big accidents up front. So he wants to get away. If those accidents happen, he wants to be well ahead of it.
All right there. Fred Leclerc, about as exciting as a Absorbeam Jr. commercial. Racing like a madman on top is Joshua Buckley. All right, we go green, working lap number 83, 17 to go. Look at the drive from the top. There he goes, granny hips, gets a good run out of 2. Loses momentum through 3 and 4. Let's see if that outside line prevails. He's going to get credit with leading the lap. That's the first lap led for Buckley. We got a caution. I think it's going to go to Buckley.
I think Buckley was ahead as well. That's what it's looking like at the moment. So, yeah, that's why you fight so hard. If a caution comes out and you're racing for the lead, you could get an easy pass. That may have been something that wouldn't have worked out if we stayed green.
I don't think Buckley was going to finish it. I think he got the break of the timely yellow. Let's look at the incident right now. Boy, they are really bunched up back there. That's Ken Allen in the 49.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's Kevin Alicia that's behind him. Gave Allen a bump going into the corner. I couldn't quite see what happened up ahead, but Ken was definitely laying back a little bit from that car ahead. So I don't know if there was a checkup at one point. We get a bird's eye view here. And ultimately, I think Ken was just trying to be a little conservative while also being able to try to set up and make a run on corner exit, and the drivers behind just weren't expecting it all.
Mama Allen, slice a little sliver off of your husband's pie and slip it over to your son. Luke Logan Allen racing in 10th. Papa Kenny Allen, after racing up front with a potential to win, my goodness, he's down next to last.
Yeah, and Luke, you talked about him. He's up to 10th spot, and he is the highest running driver. That took right side tires during one of the recent cautions. So he's definitely got fresher rubber than everybody that's around him. I know he's going to be restarting on the outside, but he does have some fresher rubber, so he's going to be able to maneuver and work his way through the field easier than everybody that's around him. So a big sign to watch him on this next restart.
Anybody who's led a lap is racing in the top 3. 4 laps led for Joshua Buckley, 69 for Fred Leclerc. And then Eric Teapot Stout back there with 14 out in front. You can see the yellow marker at the top of your left. 13 laps to go. It'll be 12 as they come across the line. Great start from Buckley. Oh, mine, that's going to let Stout get a run in there. But no, the outside line, he knows how to make it work. No, he drifts up. Leclerc's going to lose a ton of spots. And my goodness, now it is Buckley ahead of Stout. Is there time for the man with 5 wins, 2 championships to steal one? Let's look at the battle back for third. Hey, how about Rob Higgins now up into third? Well done in that 40.
Absolutely. Rob Higgins being aggressive here late, and that's what he needs to do to get those moves made. He's up into third spot. Fred Leclerc's trying to look back to his inside, but right now, Rob's got it.
Leclerc saying, I've led the most laps. I was out in front, and now all of a sudden the laps are ticking away, and I find myself in fourth. He's not happy about it. He's working underneath Higgins. Higgins has nothing for him. Meanwhile, picking him up, putting him down. He might have been the fastest car all night. We're talking about Josh Buckley in the 13th. He is pulling away from Stout. Stout's going to have to work. It's a 3-car length lead, and the laps are clicking away.
Yeah, Buckley doing exactly what he needs to do. He needs to go as far as he can, or excuse me, as fast as he can to get as far away from Stout as possible. But you can see Eric starting to work his way back in. That gap behind Stout is starting to open up a little bit as well. So Stout's got this thing dialed in. Buckley's got to focus on the bottom of the track. Oh, and there's contact with Fred Leclerc coming out of turn 2.
Oh, Fred Leclerc, it has gone so badly, but we stay green. Leclerc losing more spots as he falls now to Kevin Alicia. And more bumping for Leclerc. That's the 17. We talked about him, Chad. Our car is coming back. Your pole sitter working so hard to get back up there. Man, they continue to race. Elbows are being thrown. Oh, look, flagrant fouls if it was in the NBA.
That's what happens when the pay window's open, and we're at that time. So drivers are really being aggressive. They're getting everything they can possibly get. And if you're one of those drivers in an even position, you're doing everything you can to try to get to an odd position just in case we get a late caution with with more than a lap to go here, because we will get a green-white checker.
With apologies to the guys who are battling back behind, let's turn our attention up front. Nobody has raced in a modified and a red light racing sanctioned event. Now a caution comes out. That is not what Josh Buckley wanted to hear, and that's who I was talking about. The caution comes out. We've got ourselves a green-white checker.
It's going to be a big, big restart for those drivers up front. We can see Kevin Alicia here. He ends with the most damage. Car kind of wiggling, getting loose coming off of turn 4. We go into turn 1. And I think there might have been contact between him and Chad Alcaraz. It may have been a natural spin. It was a little awkward angle there, but ultimately Kevin Alicia goes around entering turn 1. This is a better look at it. So as they dive off in, I definitely saw Alcaraz dive in there faster than Alicia was doing, and he definitely made contact. And it doesn't take much on a track that's flat like this to just send that other car right around. And riding on board with Brian Neff made the wrong decision, and it stinks when you're that driver. You think you're doing everything right, and all of a sudden the seas part and there's a car stopped in the track and you can't avoid it. So unfortunately, that's ultimately what gave Alicia the big damage on that left front suspension. That's going to end his night.
Let's see if we're allowed to talk to Rob Higgins, car number 40. Not sure if we have. Rob, it's Soup Up in the booth. You have a minute to talk to me.
I do.
All right, here's my advice. The guys up front are racing like maniacs. I think you can vulture one here. What do you think?
I think so. I'm feeling pretty confident right now. My brakes might give out. I don't know.
All right, and we'll watch you. Go get them.
All right, yeah, see ya.
I like the attitude. Buckley and Stout. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. I've always heard that 8 tires work better than 4, so yeah, might as well use the bumper there.
We should give a shout out to the driver who has worked his way up to 4th. He hasn't podiumed on an oval yet. He's one spot away from doing it. We're talking about rookie Devin Visna. And who knows what could happen here. Jeff Aho has fallen back to 5th. The lights are off the pace car. Pull in. This restart is so very important. Buckley on the inside, Stout on the outside. They wait. They both start to roll pretty even. Stout with now some momentum as they head down into 1 and 2. Can the outside line work? Boy, not nearly as good as it did earlier. In fact, he starts to fade. And that's going to now. Oh, we got another yellow.
Yeah, another yellow. Jeff Aho was going around when I looked up, and there's multiple drivers now involved. There's Tasharu. Aho's back going. Neff's been involved in this. I think Fred Leclerc was involved in some of the aftermath. But I saw Jeff going around. I don't know if he got some contact coming out of turn 2. We get a look at it here. Fred Leclerc's to the inside, and yeah, absolutely. So Fred was trying to get a good run on corner exit. He was using that apron, and in return got a little bit loose under the throttle, bobbled up into Jeff Aho on corner exit, and that sent Jeff right around. And it's kind of been, another season of that for Jeff. He'll have some good runs going, and then something odd just kind of happens.
Indeed. Boy, it just goes on and on and on, especially in slow motion. Finally, they get it sorted out. I'll tell you right now, the dessert is getting pretty mutilated in the Allen household. Okay, Mama Allen, go back in, take the slice that you just gave to your son, take that back, put it back on your husband, because Ken Allen is now back up into 7th position.
Oh, yeah, we got some recreational driving there. I'm not sure what happened with Eric Stout, but he was down in the grass in 3 and 4. I think he's going to rejoin back in 2nd place, but I'm not sure what caused him to go down there.
He was just sitting in 2nd, and the car just kind of pulled off onto the grass, stopped for a second, and then went again. Almost like he had to, I think, maybe blow his nose. They're going to give him 2nd position back. It's very kind of iRacing. The one thing the iRacing platform does is allow you to have clear sinuses when you go racing. So they allowed Stout to get that taken care of, move back up into 2nd. All right, well, Higgins is going to get one more shot at it. He's back in 3rd. Visna sitting out there in 4th. He doesn't have Aho behind him anymore like he had last time. All right, here we go. Good jump. Now look at your leader, Buckley, really strong through 1 and 2. And again, Stout off the side, but we got another caution. We're running out of these green-white checkers. Take a look at this one.
Yeah, riding on. Yeah, you can kind of see all the checking up that is occurring as we're coming to the green flag right there with Hazlip. And in return, it kind of put him in a bad spot because he was nose to tail with Luke Logan, which means when everybody slows down in turn 1, he doesn't have a whole lot of time to react, and the driver behind's got less time to react, which was Brian Neff in this case. So see how tight they were before they entered turn 1. Hazlip actually got into the back of Luke Logan there, and that caused the big checkup that ultimately led to Neff getting in the back of Hazlip and spinning him around. So it's late in the race, Soup. Drivers, they're ready to go. They're wanting to get every single position. We keep getting these green-white checkers, but thankfully, this should be the final green-white checkered here, and that's what I am seeing on the iRacing side.
We are coming across the line, working lap number 111. Hopefully they have enough fuel here to get to the end.
Yeah. I think they're going to be all right because of all of the caution laps. We've had a lot of cautions, but the caution laps are even longer here. And these SKs, they don't use much fuel at all while we're riding under caution.
If I can read my legal notepad here, my yellow pad, I think this is the third restart now. Two green, white checkers and one under regulation that Buckley has had to fend off Stout. He's done it okay so far. One more in you there, Granny Hips, and you got the win. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I feel for him here because they've given Eric so many restart opportunities, and Eric is smart enough to learn from each and every one of them. So he's got one more shot at it. But Josh just needs to focus on getting a good restart and getting into turn 1, carrying enough speed to clear Stout here.
The top 4 drivers all on the same tires they started with. A little fresher tires back for Chad Alcaires in 5th. Here we go. 2 laps to go. Maybe the best restart so far from Stout, but the outside line just does not work. He tries to keep the momentum up. It doesn't work this time. A caution is not going to save Buckley or Stout this time. Stout is in jeopardy of losing the spot. There goes Higgins to the inside. And right now, the white flag. It is all for Joshua Buckley. Nobody is racing. They're wrecking all over the place, but I think it's going to be clear from corner 4 to the start-finish line. Yes! Buckley picks up his first win of the season here at Langley. Rob Higgins gets second. Chad Alcaires third. Teapot gets pushed all the way off the podium.
Yeah, and what a run for Chad Alcaires there. He started on the pole. We saw that accident early in the race. He came all the way through this field and got back up in the 3rd spot. That was huge.
Mama Allen, just make the dessert extra big because Ken finishes in 5th. Luke Logan finishes in 6th. That's worth a nice big slice of pie for both of the men in your lives. With that said, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back and run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Who you watching? You better know by now. It's the Virtual Grip Network. Welcome back to Langley Speedway and the Virtual Grip Network's 16th round coverage of the Red Light Racing League's SK Modified Series. It is season 14. The results are in. Let's give them to you right now. Well, he started in 10th. He worked his way to the front. He was aggressive. He put on the show. Once he got to the front, he stayed there for 31 laps. We're talking about Josh Buckley. He picks up his first win of the season. Congratulations to Granny. Rob Higgins had a nice run, started in 6th. He'll come home in 2nd. You know, Buckley and Stout didn't get together, but he was still able to pick up one position. Stout fell all the way down to 4th. Eric Stout, that is, and that allowed Chad Alcaraz to get up into 5th. Remember, he was our pole sitter, ran into trouble, fell all the way back, came all the way back. Nice job. Luke Logan Allen finishes ahead, just behind Ken Allen for 5th and 6th. Fred Leclerc after that. Ethan the Mountain Troutman, we saw a little bit of him. He'll have to settle for 8th position. Season 12 champion Jeff Aho will come home in 9th, and Mike Tercereau finishes in 10th. Partner?
Yep, rounding out our field for tonight, we got Bob Higgins coming home in 11th place, Chris Hazlip in 12th, Chris Oliver will come home in 13th, Bill Benedict 14th place. All these drivers having some action late in the race, ultimately leading to that finish. Brian Neff in 15th place, Devin Visnaw, he'll come home in 16th place, and the only driver that is at least one lap down is Kevin Alicia. He was that one involved in that late race caution where he had damage in the car. He'll come home in 17th tonight.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and dial up Josh Buckley, race winner, and now a partner with me in some of our coverage here on VGN. Josh, you had to go 15 extra laps to get it done. They gave you a whole bunch of green and white checkers, but you managed to make it work.
Woo! I had to, that one was crazy. Every time that yellow flag came out, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Come on. Just like, can I get this one?
It was very nice indeed. Very, very fun to watch you race this one. You usually are very, very smooth. Tonight, you were really working it.
Yeah, no, definitely. The setup had a nice little looseness to it that you can take advantage of, but could definitely overdo it. And some guys, especially early, were trying to do that. So I was just trying to save the right rear for when I needed it. Strategy with the cautions kind of worked out in my favor. And then just getting that run there at the end on the outside on Fred, just, I realized early I could get a run on the outside on a restart and work it. So I just tried to pinch him to the bottom since he liked to use the apron. And I was just able to get the run off the corner and, just beat him, to that when that caution came out. So.
Give you a little trivia question here in the history of Red Light Racing League. Which driver has raced a modified here at Langley more than anyone else?
I have a feeling that's going to be me.
It is you, and it took you on your 7th try. You pick up your first win. Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it.
And you see what working in the booth with me does? Those wins start coming. It works for JR.
Oh,
I like it.
All right, see you down the road.
All right, see you guys.
JR would be just half the driver he was if he didn't work with me. JR, who you got?
it's true. All right, hey, I got Rob Higgins. He's our 2nd place finisher tonight. Rob, walk me through those last 3 green-white checkers, the things that were going through your mind, because we just knew something was about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I was cooking at the end on restart, so I'm like, keep them coming, But I was better, I think, on the restarts on the outside, and I was stuck down the bottom.
Well, that was one of the questions I kind of had. So we knew how great that bottom lane was early in the race. I wanted to know what your opinion was on the car handling. How did that change as the night progressed?
I was getting loose, and I didn't want to chance it, like going to the apron. I could have maybe done something with Josh if I went down there, but I was like, I'd rather second than spin out and crash everybody.
That's a good decision for tonight, man, with everything that happened on the racetrack. And I think you came in tonight 7th place in points. This is definitely going to help you inch forward. How important is that momentum going to be for you in these closing races? I think you got 3 more races this season.
No, it's good. I'm second. I got 1 more to go to get my first win. And somehow the number 13 car seems to be blocking me from it.
We all noticed that tonight. I'll get you out here on this one, man.
All right, hey, thanks, guys.
Well, hey, let me ask you one more question, Rob. Next week, you guys are going to Bristol. It's a fun track, but I think you guys are going there in the Tour Modified. 200 laps. What are your thoughts?
I haven't ran Bristol in a long time in the Tour Modified, so we'll see how it goes.
Could be another wild one, but hey.
Oh, definitely.
Hey, Rob,
work out for you.
It's Soup. I got one to get you out here. Is that accent I'm hearing? Is that Boston? It's not New York, is it? Is that Boston I'm hearing?
I guess Boston, yeah. From Massachusetts, oh yeah.
Okay, I guess Boston. All right.
Not New York. No.
All
New
right.
York.
I figured that. All right. Nice race, man. Go get him.
All right, yeah. See ya.
All right. Rob Higgins, 2nd place. I got the guy who finished this in 3rd. It's Chad Alcaraz. Chad, what a race for you. Started on the pole, raced up front, go all the way back to the back, come all the way back to get third. Wow.
Yeah, during after last race, my sponsors were like, "Hey, we need to see more airtime in you." So it's like, "Yeah, okay, let's get the pole." And then I just got loose and just lost it there. And then I got loose again. I hooked Neff, and I felt so bad about that because him and I have been raced so clean lately. And then later in the back, I run into I think Kevin, and it was just none of it was on purpose. It's just But hey, towards the end, I started cycling to the bottom, and I'm just sticking down here. I'm just running that apron. We're gonna do some stuff. So it worked out towards the end there.
So on lap 30, you had to come in. You had a 16-second stop. Were you able to take tires on that one, or did you stay on the same? Did you finish on the same road you started with?
I came in to see what kind of damage I had. So when I wrecked with Neff, I actually had a wheel damage. But when I raced, it was still sticking fine. I'm like, I should probably go in and see what's really going on here. So it was 1 minute worth of damage, but I only really had 16 seconds worth of time to try and get it going. And I'm like, we'll stick with this. What I thought from where I was, taking tires would have risked me probably losing a lap because the pace car was going around there so fast.
Got it.
And getting two made it maybe too loose, and I think we were already loose to begin with. So I don't think tires would have really helped, especially two tires.
Wow, that is great to know. All right, well, if there was an award for passing the most cars, I think you'd have it. Well done. We'll see you down the road.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the broadcast, and you guys next week, hopefully.
All right. John Cars started on the pole, went all the way to that, came back up and finished third and got to talk to us. Well, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. When are we doing again? We'll put it on right there. And, of course, you guys can all read. You can see where we're going. I'm going to look to see if there's – we're going to Langley again. That's good. I'm just going to leave my bags here. I'll just take a short little overnight bag to New Smyrna and Bristol. Then I'll be back right here. God, I got to go back to Bristol again. Who organizes this for VGN? I'm traveling all around the country, going to places. Can't we put them together? And they're wrapping up in Phoenix. You don't want to miss that. All those broadcasts, future ones, past ones, all in production of the Virtual Grid Network. When that's done, we hope you enjoyed the show. If not, we'll try to do better next time. Until then, have fun storming the castle.